everyone. Roshan here with Be a Roshan, and this is part 2 of Journey of the Soul. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the soul hierarchy, or the hierarchy under which the soul exists. So this information I have received from two books. One is The Complete Ascension Manual by Dr. Joshua David Stone, and the other book is The Esoteric Psychology by Alice Bailey. And Dr. Stone compresses a lot of what the Alice Bailey books have, because the Alice Bailey books are very complex English and the information is very detailed. So I recommend you all get this book if you all can. I'm not sure if it's available on the Kindle, but I recommend reading this book to get information about how the soul exists and a lot of things about how to ascend into 5D. Of course, the book itself and a lot of the practices are old, because this book was written in the 80s, 90s, but some of the practices are still valid even though the energy around has changed. So, the hierarchy of the soul. So, unlike what we've known, the soul actually has 12 personalities. So, one soul is shared among 12 people. And this is different for different beings. In the case of insects, one soul is being shared by 1,000 personalities or 1,000 different insects. So mammals, for example, birds would be different, tigers would be different, fish would be different. There would be different personalities, number of personalities for each soul. All souls have, all things on this planet have consciousness to a certain extent. So everything in this universe is consciousness. In another way, source is all of consciousness put together, because source is putting out all of this consciousness into this universe. So source is universe, universe is consciousness, everything is everything. Now, soul wants to experience life through these 12 personalities and wants to experience different things through them. So these 12 personalities make up one soul, and then the 12 souls, there are 12 souls that make up one monad. So if you multiply it, one monad is 144 personalities. Now these personalities send whatever they are experiencing. These experiences go through the soul, and from the soul go through the monad, and from the monad go to source. And that is how source experiences life in the universe. When the soul incarnates a certain personality into existence, it stays silent throughout the existence of that individual until the point when the individual decides to make a connection back to soul. So, the personality or the individual wants to or realizes that there is something beyond this existence, and that is energy, or that is source, or that is God, or in however way they see fit. They feel that they need to connect with this higher consciousness. And when they decide to do that, soul acknowledges that plea and starts to send information to the personality. So in the beginning, this information is very small amounts of information, just nudging him or her here and there to kind of guide them into a direction or path. On the other hand, you also have the guardian angel. So every human being on this planet has a guardian angel who is there beside them to guide them through life and to protect them in some way possible. Now the guardian angels have limited amounts of energy that they can channel through them. So if you're thinking that, oh, the guardian angel should have protected that person from an accident, no, that's not really possible, because everyone's lives are very, very complicated calculations, and everyone's life is very, very complex, and life itself is a very complex structure. So the guardian angel cannot interfere in lives unless that information is given to him, or the permission is given to him or her from the soul, or from the higher self, or from source. So the soul waits for the personality to acknowledge its existence, and then source existence, and then once the personality makes that acknowledgement, then it starts to send information and nudge it in a direction. Now, as the personality moves forward on his or her journey, he starts to realize a lot of different things and starts to do a lot of practices, like, for example, meditation, or some path of spirituality, let's say shamanism or yoga, or any one of those millions of things that are out there that helps you find your answers. And as you journey on your spiritual path, more and more information starts to channel through you from your soul into your mind. Now, as you move forward, your personality starts to transform, and at one point you will reach a point where so much information is going to channel through you from your soul that you will become a likeness of your soul, or your personality will no longer be your own, but 100% reflection of your soul. And that is the goal, that is the aim. And that is one of the reasons why the soul incarnates into this existence, through your personality. Now, at the same time, while you are incarnating, and all of these 12 personalities are incarnating at different times, not at the same time, and in different places on the planet, in different areas, or whatever. While one of these 12 is actively pursuing their spiritual path, there may be others who are also actively journeying on their spiritual path. And there might be some who have not actively worked or actively seeking their spiritual path for many, many incarnations. And the soul decides that, and there's absolutely no magic number to tell you how many incarnations this is, or it takes for the soul to decide on this, because every soul decides it individually. So let's say out of the 12, there are 6 who are, for example, there are 6 who are actively on their journey to the soul, to source, to creator, and there are 6 who are inactive, completely inactive for the last, for example, 50 incarnations. And let's say the soul decides, okay, you know what, this personality, these 6 are inactive, and there's absolutely no point channeling my energy or information or waiting for them, so I'm going to stop incarnating them now and channel the energy of these 6 into the other 6. So these 6, they stop incarnating after some point, after a certain point, and all the energy is channeled into the other 6. So the other 6 their energies become heightened, they become stronger, and that's why you have this varied levels of human existence here. Some are gifted with this, and some are gifted with that, and some have more stronger energies, and the others have less. And the millions of things that you see around you, the differences you see in human beings around you. So our purpose is to go to soul, and now as we reach 100% of, as we start to reflect 100% of the soul's personality through us, we mirror the soul. The challenges start to get different because we've reached another step on our journey, or we've reached another level of our journey to the creator or source. Now as we journey on, now the challenges get bigger and more tougher, because now we are on the journey or the part where we are seeking information from our monad. So the monad starts to channel energy through you now, and the energy coming through the monad is much higher than at the soul level. So at the soul level, you are reaching, say, X amount, and now at the monad level, you are going to start receiving, say, 10 times that, or 5 times that. I don't know. It depends on each monad. There are millions of monads, billions of monads. So as you progress on your spiritual path, at some point you will start to become a reflection of the monad. So from where you started as a personality, as an individual, you left that behind, you left your personality behind, you started to imbibe or reflect the 100% personality of the soul. Now you've left that behind, and now you are transforming into becoming a 100% reflection of your monad. So from where you started, you are going to be a completely different person at this point. As you journey on and do the practices that you believe to be helping you on this journey, and your practices will change. Your practices will change. You might leave things behind and people behind because you need to pursue this journey. And that is okay, because everyone's journey is a solitary journey. No one can follow you on this path because this is your path. Now, as you journey on towards becoming a 100% reflection of the monad, then you start to have all of the information from your monad channeling through you. And as you journey forward, now you are channeling much more energy, because now you are on your journey towards reaching source and becoming a shining example or a shining reflection of the creator himself or herself. Now all of this happens over lifetimes, and some of it happens in one lifetime, some of it happens over many lifetimes. Now, as you know, every time you incarnate, you forget everything that you've known in the past lifetimes. And the challenge over here, when you come and incarnate in this lifetime, is to try and recollect everything that you did in your past lives, or where you stopped, or where you stopped on your journey, and where you need to start again. Now, as you work actively more and more in this current lifetime, you will find it easier to get this information back in the next lifetime, because the veils are getting thinner and thinner as you progress on your journey. So different people are journeying on their different levels, and some of them are completely blind to what they were before. And meditation and the spiritual practices that are out there are there to help you reconnect and rediscover everything that you are. So in that sense, one of the reasons why you incarnate is to connect to soul, connect to monad, connect to source. Now there is another thing also that I need to explain, and I know that this is turning out to be a long video, but I feel I need to talk about this. So source is genderless, has no gender, has no masculine or feminine figure. It's genderless. There is no gender out in the multidimensional beings out there. When you move forward from 5D, 6D, 7D, gender ceases to have any meaning. So the only reason why we have the masculine and the feminine is because we incarnate on earth, and the reason why we have masculine and feminine on earth was because that was one of the things that source, one of the conditions that source made for anyone to incarnate on this planet. So if you wanted to incarnate on this planet, your energy or the soul energy would be divided. So the soul itself has no gender, and it's only in incarnating on this planet that it feels this or experiences this masculine feminine separation. And the reason also why I feel that we have this separation is because we incarnated into a three-dimensional existence, and 3D is separation. So we have separation, but separation comes with its benefits. Like the masculine and feminine comes with its benefits. So masculine energies have certain characteristics and feminine energies have certain characteristics. And in coming to 5D, we need to balance the masculine and the feminine to be able to exist in 5D. So I'm going to talk a lot more in detail about the masculine and the feminine in the next video. But in this video, I want to also tell you that since the masculine and the feminine exist only in this reality, at the soul level, they don't exist. Now, the soul, in incarnating as a personality, will decide to incarnate either as a man or a woman in different incarnations. And as it incarnates and wants to experience life in different incarnations as either masculine or feminine, there may be times where, or there may be souls or personalities that incarnate prominently in either a masculine form or a feminine form. And so we kind of, for understanding, for the purpose of understanding, we give the soul a gender. So we would say a masculine soul or a feminine soul. Now this has nothing to do with the body parts of the soul, because the soul has no body parts. Is the only reason why we give this definition as masculine or feminine is because for the majority of its incarnations, it has had a certain, or it has come as either a masculine form or a feminine form. So let's say a soul or a personality of the soul, because there are 12. So this personality has incarnated into this life or into many lifetimes. 80% of the lifetimes that it has incarnated into has been masculine, and then decides to come into as a feminine form, into a feminine form. So it has a very strong masculine energy, but this personality is in a feminine form now. So this woman has very strong masculine energy, and the same can go for men whose souls have incarnated in many incarnations as a woman, and there's a strong feminine energy. But now, since this feminine energy is so strong in the soul personality. The man who's incarnated as a man now has very strong feminine energies or feminine characteristics. And this is what we see around us as the how do you call it, the varying differences in the genders. So even though the world's religions talk about humans being male and female, it is not, there is no clear cut line between being a man and a woman. It is a scale, and there are a lot of gray areas in between, because at different I mean, all the different personalities of the different souls have different varying levels of masculine and feminine energy. So we have to accept that all men and all women are on varying degrees of soul energy, masculine and feminine energies. So with that, I end this video now. Do feel free to comment if you have any questions, and be a light, be a Roshan.